Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alright, so today we are going to look at chapter 1 of the financial statement analysis, okay, which is the FIN658. Alright, so in this chapter we are going to look at what is financial statement analysis. So before we go further, we want to know what is the financial statement analysis. And then number 2, we are going to look at what are financial statements. So before we analyze the financial statement, so we must first understand what is the financial statements. Okay, and then number 3, we want to know how to analyze the financial statements, right? And then we want to know why do we analyze financial statements. Okay, and then the last one, we want to know who analyze financial statements. Alright, so this is the overview of financial statement analysis. Alright, so let's have a look at the first bullet, okay, or the first question that we asked just now. Okay, what is the financial statement analysis? Alright, so the financial statement analysis is an analysis of the financial reports of a company. Okay, so it's an analysis of the financial reports of a company. Okay, so in the process, one would examine the relationship, okay, among financial statement numbers and the trends, okay, in those numbers over time. So it aims at evaluating the company's economic prospects and risks. Alright, so essentially, financial statement analysis relies on past accounting data. So we rely on the past accounting data to predict the future of the firm. Alright. So in addition, financial statement analysis is used to identify the problem areas. So by using the past accounting data, we can predict the future of the firm, and at the same time we can identify the problem areas of the company. Okay. So the financial statement analysis also includes analysis of the company's business environment, the strategies, and its financial positions and performance. Okay, financial position and performance. Okay, and then the financial statement analysis is also employed as a tool to predict the financial results. Okay, so the analysis is used as a tool to predict the financial results based on the firm's strategic plans and objectives. Okay, next, what are financial statements? Alright, so the financial statements are the medium by which a company discloses information concerning its financial performance, okay, such as the income statement, balance sheet, and the statement of cash flow. So the income statement, okay, is also known as the statement of financial performance. Okay, so this one is also known as statement of financial performance. Okay, to look at the performance of the company, whether they are making profit or not. Okay, and then number 2 is balance sheet. So I'm sure that you are already familiar with all of these financial statement. Okay, so the balance sheet is also known as the statement of financial position. Okay, so this one is also known as statement of financial position. Okay, which is we want to know the position of assets and liabilities, okay, of the company. Okay, and then next, the statement of the cash flow. Okay, and then there actually another one. Okay, so which is the statement of shareholders' equity. Okay, statement of, okay, shareholders' equity. Alright. Okay, so next, we want to know how to analyze these financial statements. Okay, so although there are many ways to analyze the financial statements, okay, that are used in practice, the most commonly used approaches across the industries are, okay, ratio analysis. So this one you have already learned in banyaklah dalam fundamental of finance, even dalam personal financial planning pun you also calculate the ratio analysis, but for the individual. So this time we are going to calculate again the ratio analysis to look at the performance of the firm or the company. Okay, next we can analyze the financial statement by doing the cash flow analysis. Okay, and then doing the common size analysis, index trend analysis, equity analysis and valuation. Equity analysis and valuation ni pun you all dah belajar dalam FIN658, which is you calculate the intrinsic value of the stock of a company, and then you compare it with the market price, okay, to find the undervalued stocks. Alright. Okay, next. Okay, we want to know why do we analyze the financial statements? Kenapa nak kena analyze the financial statement ni? So number one, to identify the state of the company in terms of their risk and return. Okay, we want to know the condition of the company, okay, regarding their return and the risk of the company is evolving. Alright, and then the results from the analysis we shed some light as to the performance of the company. Okay, so if let's say we are calculating the ratio of the company, we calculate the liquidity ratio or the profitability ratio of the company so that we know, okay, how the company is doing. Is the company is making a lot profit or not? Okay, is the company has enough liquidity to cover the short-term liabilities? Alright, so from that, from that analysis, we know the performance of the company. Okay. And then next, who analyze the financial statements? Kita tahu siapa yang analyze the financial statements. So number one, of course lah. Alright, the investors are going to analyze the financial statement, the creditors or the suppliers of the company, and also the government. Alright, okay. Alright, next, let's have a look at the business analysis. Okay. So, financial statement analysis, okay, is an important and integral part of business analysis. So, the financial statement analysis is part of the business analysis. Alright. So, the goal of business analysis is to improve business decisions, okay, by evaluating available information about the company's financial situation, okay, company's financial situation or condition, okay, and also its management, okay, its plan and strategies, okay, and its business environment. Alright, so business analysis involve scanning the environment. Okay, we scan the environment, which is known as external analysis. Okay, so this is done by examining the environment related to the competitors, okay, the technology, the regulation, or changes in government policy. Alright, and then as well as we can also examine the customer needs and demand. Alright, so this one is known as the external analysis. Okay, so the financial statement analysis itself is a internal analysis of the business analysis. Okay, so FSA ni is an internal analysis, okay, of the business analysis. Alright, so this type of business analysis is the evaluation of the company's prospect and risk. Okay, we evaluate the company's prospect and risk, okay, for the purpose of making business decisions. Okay, so these business decisions extend to, okay, equity and debt valuation, the credit risk assessment, earning prediction, audit testing, and etc. Alright, now let's move to the next slide. Okay, so this is a business analysis, okay, which can be categorized into the external factor and internal factor here. Okay, so the external factor, like I said before, okay, we examine the technology, the competitor, the regulation, okay, which is the internal factor. We actually do the financial statement analysis of the company. Alright, so the business analysis aids in making informed decision. So it helps us lah, okay, in making informed decision by helping structure the decision task through an evaluation of a company's business environment, strategies, and its financial position and performance. So ini include yang both lah, external and internal. Alright. So next, let's have a look at the information source for business analysis. So what are the sources of business analysis? Okay, so it can be divided into two sources, the quantitative source and the qualitative source. Alright, so the quantitative sources like the financial statement, okay, the financial statement itself, the industry statistic, economic indicators like GDP, okay, and then the regulatory filings, the trade report, okay, and the sources from the qualitative, okay, like management discussion and analysis, the chairperson's letter, vision and mission statement, the financial press, okay, press releases, and the websites, okay. Alright, so next, the types of business analysis. So there are many types of business analysis, okay, as you can see in the slide. Okay, we have a credit analysis, equity analysis, and many more. So I'm going to give you an example of the credit and equity analysis. So as for the credit analysis, is actually we are analyzing the creditworthiness. Okay, we analyze the creditworthiness. Alright, so as for the creditors, okay, like the trade creditors, okay, who focus on the short-term credit, okay, so they are going to decide whether to provide the goods and services on credit or not, okay. So for the non-trade creditors, so mostly focus on the long-term, like loan, okay, ataupun bank. Okay, they will analyze the creditworthiness of the borrower, okay, whether to grant a loan or not to the prospective borrower, okay. So and then they are going also to look ataupun to check the creditworthiness by looking at the liquidity or the solvency of the potential borrower, okay. So for the liquidity, okay, kita tengok juga the liquidity and also the solvency, okay. So for the liquidity, they can calculate lah, such as the liquid ratio, like you calculate the current asset divided by the current liability to check whether the company is able or not to perform the short-term obligation. So mostly this one is focused on the short-term untuk liquidity. Kita nak tengok whether they are liquid enough or not. Okay, and then for the long term, okay, they focus on the solvency, whether they are able or not to pay in the long term, okay, such as for the loan. Alright, so here we are going to calculate the solvency ratio or the profitability ratio of the company. Alright, okay, so ini untuk credit analysis. And while for the equity analysis, so ini you dah belajar dalam FIN658, so which is when you how do we analyze the equity analysis, we can use the technical analysis, technical or fundamental analysis. Okay, fundamental analysis. So for the technical analysis, of course lah, you do charting. Okay, you do charting. Okay, you look at the pattern price behavior, and then you can predict the future price movement of the equity, right? Okay, and then for the fundamental analysis, okay, fundamental analysis ni macam yang apa tu? The top-down approach tu, okay. You look at the economy analysis, and then you look at the industry, okay, and then the last one you focus on the company itself. Okay, so for the company itself, you calculate the intrinsic value of the stock, alright, and then you try to find the undervalued stock lah. Okay, so this one you find the undervalued stocks. Okay, so I think that's all. The rest you bolehlah baca sendiri, okay, for the types of business analysis. Alright, so that's all. Thank you.